Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Fratello Talks. I'm your host, Nacho. This week, I'm joined by my colleagues,
Daan
and
Lex.
And we're going to be talking about some recent releases that have caught our eye, some of our favorite watches that have been recently released. But before we jump into the topic, let's see what's on the wrist. Daan, let's start with you.
Oh, yes. I'm wearing my Serica 5303-3, which means it's
Very nice.
the diver with a green-blue ceramic bezel inlay.
Seafoam green.
Seafoam green. Is
Have
that
you
the
ever seen
official
seafoam
name?
in that color?
I think, and not seafoam, but I think it was inspired in part by a particularly nice 1960s Fender Stratocaster.
Guitar, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lovely color, and that dial is very dark blue, right?
It's very dark blue, yeah.
Very
Now
dark
it looks
blue.
black, but
it's take your word for it, blue.
Yeah. No, and
I've
I
once
really
seen
like
a Bentley in that color, in the
Really?
seafoam.
Oh.
That was more the Fender green.
Fender color,
Yeah,
right,
it was
right.
wow.
What was the interior like?
It was
Creamy.
creamy white.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, very,
It's
very nice.
seafoam.
And
Yeah.
well, Lex, what is on your wrist today?
The mighty Rado Anatom Automatic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
This is
That's
a,
the blue dial, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it
there
It
is a
Couldn't
blue.
quite
It's
see
a
it.
very fumé.
Yeah.
It's they say it's inspired by the 1980s Diastar Anatom, but that is a completely different watch. There is some
Okay.
resemblance with some shapes and stuff, but this really is a completely new modern interpretation.
Mhm.
It's I think this is a watch that when you see it on a picture
Mhm.
and in a window, you will appreciate it less than once you put it on a wrist, and it kind of starts to work, and then you can see the way the
the case
sapphire is
and-
curved,
yeah.
and the way the ceramic bezel flows into the black PVD steel case. It's nice. Yeah,
It's
I
a
think,
rubber strap, right?
Yeah, it's a rubber strap with a
Deployed,
folding buckle, and
I think that's folding buckle. You
No,
mixed
no,
your-
no,
You
no.
mixed your consonants there.
did I? Oh,
Yeah, I think
well,
so.
no.
Yeah, the clasp is a bit
Yeah.
finicky.
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
I like the
I
folding
kind of like
buckle.
it. I'm writing something about it. I'm giving it a go, and yeah, I like it.
Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool.
What are you wearing?
Yeah,
you?
I'm wearing my Pelagos FXD back on
Oh.
the wrist after a little break. I had to wear some of my other watches. Yeah. And-
What is
and
that
now it's
strap?
back.
Yeah, what is it?
The
There's
strap
Velcro on
is
it as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like the original strap for it. So it also has the Velcro system, but it is from Watches of Espionage. So he's producing these straps. I believe it's one of the very, very, very few similar to the OEM for the FXD that are available out there. But of course, with an additional keeper
yeah.
for the Velcro, and yeah, I find it very comfortable, and it's a little bit less.
Bulky.
No, it's because the original one is sort of khaki green with a red stripe down the middle.
Oh, okay.
People joked that it looks like a Gucci strap
Oh, cool,
or something
yeah.
like that.
More like a Prada stripe.
Or Prada, or yeah, I don't know. But
Gucci
to
is
me, I
really
feel that,
Prada,
that having
Gucci.
like just a single color is a little bit. It tones it down a little bit, and yeah, it's how I also enjoy wearing it. And,
It looks
the
a
strap
little
is
bit
good.
like a mix mismatch, or a mix up,
Mishmash.
a
Mix
mix
up.
up of all kinds of straps.
Yeah.
So I would now like to see like a NATO that also has Velcro,
Okay.
but that's also elastic.
Yeah.
So you have all three
With quick release spring bars.
Yeah,
integrated
Yeah.
like Longines does.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this all the concepts there are,
Yeah,
and then into one strap.
And a folding buckle.
of course.
And if
Man, that would be a feat of engineering.
Yeah.
No, but this is pretty straightforward. It's just Velcro and a little
Yeah.
two slotted buckle, and yeah, super comfortable to wear, and it matches the FXD well. So
That's
I
true.
really dig it.
That's
really
true.
dig it as an alternative to
Can
the
you
original.
dig it?
Cool. So let's get started with some recent releases that have caught our eye. There's been, of course, as always, a lot of new releases.
Almost
Ooh,
We've
nothing.
seen a ton
Lex
of
is
watches.
putting his glasses on.
Yeah,
Lex,
I
is,
know.
Lex has got a list. He's ready. To be fair, I have a list as well.
Yeah, of
But
course.
Me
how
too.
should we do this? Should we just go around?
I
and
think I
briefly
should
talk
start
about
because
them?
I just put on my
Well,
glasses.
exactly. Go ahead. Go ahead. So Lex, let's
Lex is going to read us a story.
kick off with your bedtime story. No, with your picks for
Once
recent releases.
once upon a time, there was an architectural school named Brutalism.
Yes.
It was started by Le Corbusier. Well, to cut
This
a
is my
very
favorite
long,
story.
it's a lovely story, but I will cut this story short and tell you one of my watches I really enjoyed that they brought out this year is the Audemars Piguet Remaster 2 self-winding.
Mm-hmm.
That very odd angular white thing that was sort of inspired by brutalism, but the case, the way they finished it, kind of looks like the concrete used, not just in the Le Corbusier building, but also in their the Hôtel des Horlogers and also the museum of AP in Le Brassus. It's designed by Bjarke Ingels group, and there's a lot of bare concrete there. So I thought not only the watch is a reinterpretation of I think a 1970s watch, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up in the story. That was much smaller, of course, and they only did 7, so it was a huge commercial success. Well, they experimented a lot, and there was no the watchmaking was so different.
You've worn it,
course.
right? You've worn it.
Yeah, that was
I've worn
my
it.
question.
And it's not your everyday watch, of course, but this
Definitely not.
But this is also not aimed at people who are looking for their first watch. So that's also a thing. But I think when you wear it, you will very consciously wear it, and you will wear it to a nice occasion or what have you. Yes, it is a tad big. It also has to do because of they wanted to use the movement that's in the jumbo, the flat, very flat automatic movement, but that's still very wide. So it
has
takes,
to fit inside the rectangular shape.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
necessarily then,
So I asked, was there ever a plan to put a shaped movement in there? Because in the past they had the Audemars Piguet line that had rectangular movements, and they said, we looked into that, but we couldn't upgrade those existing movements to the standards we use right now.
Okay.
And then developing a shaped movement specially for this would have been too costly. At the same time, if the watch would have turned out twice as expensive, it probably would have sold also, and they would be left with a new movement they could use for other models in the future. But they didn't anyway. But it is a tad big. But I also thought it was impressive.
It's
especially the shaped.
It's a
statement. Yeah, and the shaped crystal is
watch.
phenomenal, and the finishing is superb.
Finishing inspired by a lack thereof, right? That's
a little bit.
Brutalist approach.
On the other hand, the Swiss are absolutely nuts about concrete. They use it everywhere. If you just cycle through the Swiss countryside, you will be in a village, and there will be the community hall in a very wild design made of bare concrete.
Surrounded by traditional houses.
Yeah, exactly.
Facades and wooden ceilings.
There is this absolute contrast, and schools made of concrete. So they do have they take their pride. I think cement is a product of national Swiss pride.
Fantastic.
And they finish
watches and chocolate.
Yeah.
But there was another Square watch release. There was also the Toledano.
The Toledano and Chan, of course.
I kind of ignored that.
Okay.
You were all AP'd out, so
exactly.
you couldn't,
Not in the same
sink your
league
teeth into both of them. But that was also inspired by brutalism and architecture. And
a window. I think a window.
Oh yeah, that was a watch inspired by a window.
Yeah, but that came on a bracelet, and that was very cool. Very cool as well. But it's interesting to see brands doing something so completely different, because with AP a lot of the time you're either iterating on the Royal Oak or you're iterating on the Code 1159 these days, and so it became a little bit not stale.
Nobody expected this. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, and nobody expected this.
Exactly.
And the remaster one, of course, was this very traditional chronograph, and then this was something completely different.
Yes, perfect. And with that, we've gotten our Monty Python jokes out of the way for this episode, and we can go on to the we can go.
Last one, sorry.
that's fine. That's a quick one, so it's good. Yeah, and we can move on to. I'll go, and then we can sort of go around in circles. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw something that's also quite big into the mix, and I like this for a very specific reason.
It's gonna be because we didn't really go through our list beforehand,
so
we might have some
but the
doubles.
good thing is, if we have overlap, then the episode is over in like 15 minutes,
Yeah,
and we're done. No, but we're 10 minutes in, and we've covered one watch, so I think we're gonna. I think it's safe to say this is gonna be a lengthy episode. Anyway, I'll go, and my pick is this very recently released Breitling Super Ocean Automatic 46 with the camouflage dials.
See, there's the first overlap.
First overlap, right off
Did
the
you
bat.
pick that?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a Breitling, but not that one.
Okay,
But
okay.
I
Did
also
you pick that one?
Yes,
Okay.
and I also picked it because of its name. It's a super diver.
Super
It's
diver.
called Super Diver.
Yeah.
I don't think I haven't even seen that
It's
one.
a surf watch. No,
it's really cool.
it's kind of cool. It's very big, but
Tell me
I've
the name
seen,
again.
I have to read it.
Breitling Super Ocean
Yeah.
Automatic
Yeah.
46
46.
because it's 46,
46.
millimeters
Okay.
wide.
But so
And it's
okay.
a super diver.
So it's
Super
for big surfers.
And big surfers,
divers.
big divers for super divers. It's
It's super size divers.
yes, exactly,
Ah.
exactly. Well, you wear it over the wetsuit.
But
so
I
it's,
do like the Super Ocean. I have a long history with Super Ocean.
But this
No,
is
and
this is essentially an iteration on the model that was already there, but this time with a camouflage pattern dial in both a green colorway and a black and gray colorway. And I
is
like
it
it.
very
black or blue?
timeless.
I think it's black,
okay.
and gray.
Okay.
It's
Very
It's not
timeless.
timeless at all, but it's a fun watch. It's got a cool camo dial, and I think it's they're taking this model that's very big and very bold and very Breitling, and adding a little bit of something to it. And I liked those. Perhaps it would be a little too big for my wrist, though. I've
But you
seen
picked
it.
You picked it too, Dan.
I picked it too, yeah, because I
because
like.
you're very much
need-
into big watches.
No, I would never wear this watch.
But we
Never.
need more camouflage in watches.
Oh.
I think it's cool.
It
Not
was,
enough
yeah.
brands are doing stuff
like
with camouflage.
like the AP with Mike. That was
Yeah.
I talked to the guy who developed it.
The ceramic one or the gold one.
The gold one.
It's the same
the gold and
process.
the
Right.
ceramic. Yeah, exactly. And he was very proud of what they achieved. And and it is technically it's fabulous. It's fantastic. But I also asked him how timeless is this? Is this? But he was clearly an engineer, and he
I can make it.
How
he-
timeless is it? I
yeah.
fused 3 types of gold together.
Yeah,
What are you
and
asking?
but it's it also says a lot about the AP clientele. It is kind of cool, but it's a fashion watch just the same as the Breitling is.
Of course. But I thought,
but-
hey, it's cool. The 46 millimeter standard model. It's I've actually seen it in person, and it doesn't seem as big as the 46 might indicate. It
Okay.
actually looked good on the person's wrist on which I saw it. And it was a cool watch. It has a cool sort of helium escape valve on the side, and now it has these 2 camo colorways, which I don't know if they're limited or they're just added to the line. But yeah, that's my
I
my
have a
first pick.
Breitling Limited because you both have the same
But Dan
watch,
gets to
right?
go next, so you can pick
No,
that
but
as your.
this
as
is
your
a
next
more
pick.
This
this
is
is
a
more
Breitling,
natural
go
because
with
this
it.
is also a Breitling.
We'll put all our
and then-
Breitlings on
and
the
then,
table.
we
This
just
is,
because I picked the Breitling Avenger 42 Red Arrow 60th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
I also picked it in my sub €5,000 category because
Yeah.
it's 3,950 pounds. It's a limited edition UK exclusive, but I liked it because it has that very Breitling feeling of it's for pilots. It has the little crest of the,
Yeah, the
red
mission badge.
arrows on the dial. The blue is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It
And
was just
these are quite friendly priced actually because
Yeah.
the
This
Avenger
is-
is
yeah.
okay, and
There's-
the I think the Super Diver is around 5K.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Also,
for Breitling, that's
I think this
And
is a
Breitling is moving up.
ETA equipped. It's still a chronometer. I think 350 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. You can buy it on the 3-link bracelet and on a blue leather strap.
Mhm. It's cool.
It's
very
yeah.
very cool.
It kind of has the 80s vibes of the original Frecce Tricolore. What's that called? The Chronomat.
Yeah, Chronomaster.
and the size is just.
Yeah, 42,
it's
42 for a
42.
diver is spot on. That's how big the Pelagos FXD is. And I think that Avenger, with or without the Red Arrows logo on it, is a really great watch. And like you said, I think it's around like actually reasonably under 5K. So really for Breitling, when you think about it, that's not bad. These days, the Seamaster Professional 300M is, I think, well above 5,000, if not already above 6,000.
Oh.
So really that Breitling with a chronometer spec movement remains a pretty interesting thing. Of course, it's not an in-house movement like the Omega, but hey, it can't all be in-house movements.
No, but it's still a chronometer,
Exactly.
and
very cool watch.
Yeah, it is. It's just a cool watch, and of course, also Breitling really hit the mark with the press photos, because you had Red Arrows pilots modeling it while sitting in their jet.
I think there was a small event in the UK with that, and they had the Red Arrows do a flyover. I think, or they shot something.
It's a watch that brings out your inner boy.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that
cooler
when it
than
happens. And still in a very subtle way, in a 42 millimeter subtle way. That is. So now we have Breitling out of the way.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Dan, what is your first pick? Or
So my first
second
and I
pick.
think my favorite. pick,
that's your first.
my first and my favorite pick of the list is I think the Holt Hendricks signature ornament that came out. Because it offers something very different.
It is very different.
And I really like its elegant lugs, because it has curved lugs that come from underneath the case, and then they go up and go down again.
How did they print that?
Yeah, well, the cheaper version, which is my favorite, because I actually don't know the price of the 3D printed one, because the other one is CNC machined.
Oh, okay.
So the cheaper one is CNC. Cheap.
Is it
3.5K?
It's less expensive to CNC than to print.
Yeah, because for the 3D printing, they still need to do a lot of hand finishing.
Right.
Because the 3D printing is quite
but
raw.
They maintain some of that
it shouldn't
texture
come
as
as
well.
a surprise, because I had to refill my printer the other day, and if you see what you pay for original
Printer
or HP printer,
and wait until you put grade 5 titanium into your
that must be
printer.
my
That's,
God,
but I think I was looking as well at watches under 5K, and I think this is a very original design for under 5K, and I think even not only the case is special, because also the dial exists of 3 different layers with a very coarse dial, and then a sapphire crystal on top, and then the stainless steel indexes.
Yeah.
So I just think that's
it's
really
definitely
nice
original.
watch
I
to,
hope we get to see those in person soon, because they looked super impressive for the press release. That case shape is very cool, and like you said, it's super different even to some of their previous releases. So it definitely has the DNA, but it's
a 10-minute drive from here.
Yeah, I know. We should do it. Do
No,
a
we
little
should go there
Fratello
again,
road trip.
But they weren't ready for
Get in the Fratello
a
bus.
visit yet. But we'll visit them soon and see what
Once
they're
they
like
have,
in the
yeah,
flesh.
That's nice.
Absolutely. We'll follow up with a little article there, I think, with live images. And okay, Lex, what's next?
What's your second one?
Yeah,
because I already had to.
Oh, that's
I
true.
had
Yeah,
to.
you jumped the gun on the second Breitling. Cool. So
Let's see if there's another
this can be
overlap.
this can be a very quick one, because it's just a new color update for some watches that we know and love. It's the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. Everybody knows it. The 38.
Another
millimeter.
overlap.
Another one. Yeah, but okay. This is
But
quite
I have like 6 watches, so it's
quite
fine.
quite
have
an obvious
6?
one. Yeah, I have quite
You're
a few
only
as
allowed
well.
to bring 3.
Oh, I wasn't aware of the rules, but
The more the merrier. So these are new colors.
Oh.
It's just that we'll throw them up on the screen. It's the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical in 3 new colorways. One is, I believe, white and bronze. The other one is white and steel, and the other one is blue and steel.
Yeah.
And we got to see a couple of them: the white one and the blue one, not the bronze one. Here at HQ, briefly, we'll have them in as well for review. So that'll probably be up at some point.
the blue one is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I like the white one.
Oh, okay.
I like the white one because it does away with the Fotina of the
Yeah.
previous model. So the white one already existed. We can throw a picture of that up as well. And it had a little bit more Fotina in the loom, and this one has more of like a greenish loom-colored loom. So it's a little bit more...
Loom-colored loom?
Loom-colored loom. That sort of sickly
Loom-colored
green...
loom.
Glow-in-the-dark
That glow-in-the-dark
loom,
sticker color to the loom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so those are really nice. And nothing more to say there. Just a cool iteration on a watch we already know and love.
Well, I think then another iteration on a watch that I think a lot of us love is, or a new iteration, are the new colors for the new dial layout for the Serica 6190.
Oh,
Yes.
that's your.
You-
okay.
that
I
was-
had
that-
the
I had that
the perfect bridge from the loom to the loom. But
But
you
you
go
already
ahead.
did your.
Yeah, this is also a nice
second,
bridge.
so
So we can
but
do
this
two
is,
bridges.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
building
You'll take the
bridges here.
underpass.
The underpass.
But
I have that on my list as well. The
Oh,
Serica.
cool.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of overlap.
boys.
Yeah. But no, it's three new. Well, not three new dial colors. There's actually black, white, and a taupe grayish version.
Yeah, the MSLs they call them.
yeah,
right?
MSL.
Mean sea levels.
Yes. And
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know. It's in reference to it being a field watch. I don't know. I briefly read the
Yeah, that
press
can be
release, but
used to hike. So that's what.
sea level.
A lot of watches can be used to hike.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. But the 6190 is actually
Built for hiking.
No, is the height of the mountain that was
Okay.
hiked with wearing a 4512, which was the previous name of the model. Yeah, sorry to get geeky, Lex. But
Very cool. The taupe
they-
one is
the
excellent.
top one is really nice. They did away with the numerals because the model,
Because
the
when you
other
hike,
version has
who
numerals.
needs numerals?
Who needs numerals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are now applied indexes,
Yeah,
which
and
is
it,
new.
It
for
looks
the
a lot
brand.
more like the layout
Yeah.
of your diver.
Yeah.
A little
But
bit
this
more
one
of
just
everything.
has loom plots
Yeah.
in loom color.
Loom-colored loom plots.
Loom colored loom plots. And the new one has indexes that are applied with
Yeah.
loom in them.
Loom colored.
Yeah.
So on the topic of loom, there was actually two things that caught my eye because of the loom. First, it was
Fruit of the loom.
Fruit of the, I was exactly thinking of
Fruit of the
exactly
loom.
the same.
Yeah, fruit of the low hanging fruit of the loom. And there was of course the IWC Ceralume.
Oh yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah, but
of course.
that's
Concept
not
watch.
That's not a watch.
a concept watch.
Yeah.
And I was at IWC not too long ago, and I was very much hoping to see that glow in the dark monster
Didn't
in the
happen.
loom, but they didn't have it, or they didn't want to show me. You never know.
It wasn't dark enough.
It wasn't dark.
It wouldn't have. It would have just looked white.
Yeah,
Would have
exactly.
looked loom colored.
Yeah, but luckily there's something else that has a lot of loom and Elux, and that's the Panerai submersible Elux Lab ID PAM 01800 or the 01800.
You can look this up at.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's I think it's a close to a 100,000 euro Panerai submersible.
Yeah.
That uses a little micro mechanical generator to create electricity to
It's-
power the LEDs in the LED in the
Light
in
emitting
the
diodes. Yes.
exactly
Yes.
on the there's on the dial, there's on the hands, there's also in the bezel, but there's also plenty of superluminova because there are 6 barrels in that movement, of which 4 barrels are used to power the micro generator. So it's not a diesel generator.
What a
It's but the good thing is with this the original technology comes from the 1960s from Panerai when they did equipment for the Italian Navy.
So it's extremely dangerous to wear.
yeah, but there
Could explode at any moment.
Yeah.
yeah, but there's no tritium and everything, and they even made a flashlights using Elux, and
Wow.
I was and now I'm thinking of. Do you remember those little flashlights you had
Oh,
where
that
you
you
had
could
to,
squeeze where you could
that
wind them.
could,
or the
yeah.
the knijpkat?
Yeah, the knijp.
They sell them at Decathlon.
How
It's
do you
actually
call
knijpkat. If you well, how do you translate that? The pinch pussy? No, that's not how you translate that. But it's a That's what they call it. A knijpkat. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Well,
They
let's
did.
never translate Dutch on the podcast ever again.
Okay.
My God.
Anyway, but the watch is. I think the watch is really really cool. It's 49 millimeters.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
It's completely
completely bonkers.
How
It's-
could I have missed this watch?
Yeah.
I completely missed this
because
watch.
it lights up.
It's unbelievable.
It's big. It's luminous. They will make 150 watches over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I like it. If you compare this to a what is it, the Luminor Due Luna with its 38 millimeter case, mother of pearl dial, and moon
Compared to
phase.
this,
This is what you want to see from Panerai, I think.
Exactly, and they're available now. You dial 01800 PAM, and you can order yours today.
Really?
But it's, when you were saying the reference, I was like, it sounds like a phone number.
Or a
It's
cheat
amazing.
code for my Nintendo
Exactly.
64.
No,
but I thought
that's a
it
great
was
pick.
it was a spectacular thing. It's ridiculous, and it's probably also polarizing, but I also kind of like that they are doing stuff
Crazy
like
stuff,
like this that is purely instrumental and functional.
Yeah, we were
and,
talking about that also with the luminous IWC and this Panerai.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that watch brands keep doing this
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that they release concepts also that not release them but actually just go, hey, here's a concept for something that we've been working away at. I think it's really nice that they show you that sort of peek behind the curtain, and yeah, that watch might not exist in as a production model, but it's fantastic. And then in the case of the Panerai, well, it's out there, right? And it's completely bonkers, but very, very, very cool. So that's a solid pick. I didn't put that on my list, but I knew that I think that I knew that it would make it to the list somehow by one way or another. I had faith in you guys. Perfect. So we can talk about the bioceramic elephant in the room as well.
Oh.
Which is the new Omega.
Are we allowed to talk
X
about
Swatch? That? Yes, of course we are. The new MoonSwatch, the Mission on Earth models.
I like them.
Oh.
Me too.
The thing is, if you just look at them, I like them.
Yeah.
But you know of all the versions with the gold colored hands and so
the full year, every full moon, they were produced during the full moon. And that was a little bit too much. But I think that now this is a bit of like a return to form in some way. In so far as like these are actually fun. They have great colors to them. They offer a little bit more. The dials are really impressive. I shot those
they
for the hands-on article that we did, and looking at it in macro detail, the dials are super impressive, especially the faux aventurine one on the Polar Lights version, and the lava one also looks a bit like.
Problem.
What's your problem?
What's your problem? What I don't, maybe they don't, because then they would leave the original concept behind. Why not a rubber strap? Just say farewell to that horrible OEM
Velcro
strap, that horrible Velcro strap that comes on, and just use a nice. Oh,
sorry, I had to do that. I'm sure that was horrible for all those listening. I apologize.
Have you know the movie Crazy Stupid Love?
Yeah,
right?
I do.
With the Velcro, where Gosling goes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, looks so disgusted when he opens the Velcro wallet. It's not a flattering sound, but I remember in Watches and Wonders the first year when the MoonSwatch came out. Every time we had a couple of those on our wrists, and every time at the touch and feel sessions, you would just like rip it off your wrist, and everybody would sort of turn their head and go, "What the hell was that? Yeah. Who's wearing Velcro here?" And it was mostly members of the Fratello team. But and then the next it was followed by everybody enthusiastically wanting to see the watches. But no, I agree.
But it would have been.
For a new
I mean,
strap.
Swatch can do really great plastic rubber straps.
Absolutely.
Why not upgrade it a little? Just uplift it, just the evolution of the MoonSwatch, and then with a strap like
because they're out there from non-OEM manufacturers.
Yeah, exactly.
And people often buy them and wear them on those. So
and
why
it really
not,
uplifts them.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the only thing I thought. Yeah, well, why not abandon that original Velcro?
I would
and go
expect
for
them to
something
do
new?
it for the Blancpain Swatch.
Yeah, that's also.
But that NATO is That NATO is all right.
The NATO is really good, but it does make it even thicker than it already is.
Yeah, true.
And for the dive watch that it makes a lot of sense. It even has some water resistance, and the MoonSwatch doesn't. So I don't really.
But that one's tricky to replace, right? Because you have the 2 hex keys that you have to turn.
Yeah,
and it's an old size, right?
21.3678.
Yeah,
It's,
wow.
it's
decimals. That's not
it's
good.
a weird size, but still, it's
All right.
would be nice.
Perfect. So Dan, I think
Should
I
I
believe
yeah.
you're next. What do you have?
I'll do
next 6.
I'll do 2 in once.
One go.
Why not?
Because they're both from Seiko.
Okay. Perfect.
Seiko.
Seiko.
The first one is the more expensive one, the SJE 109, which is the new King Seiko that came out.
With
the C-shaped case. I really like that.
Yeah.
That
is
shape.
nice.
It's really thin. It wears great on the wrist.
Yeah.
It's
That
a
is
40
nice.
millimeter case, but the dial is smaller, and also the bezel is a bit smaller than that, so it wears a bit smaller.
What's the price again?
The price like 3,200, like 3,200 euros. So it's on the more expensive side.
Yeah.
Because it has the
bracelet's
6L35 movement inside. Bracelet is really nice.
Yeah.
I think it's like 11 small links altogether, or maybe
It's
even
very
more.
Cool. Very
And
70s
it's,
in some way, and just a cool watch.
And we saw them together for the first time, and,
Yeah.
and the white one or the silver one is definitely the one to have, because the other one are like nice. There's a purple and a green one, I think.
True.
No,
But the white one is the
white
is the
silvery
one
one
to,
is
makes it very sort of like monochromatic and very it suits that the
it
look
works really
perfectly.
well.
Yeah.
And the other one
Great
cool
one.
is a 600 euro watch.
There you go.
Oh, it's a Presage cocktail.
No,
Oh.
no.
Also a good
it's
one.
a samurai. It's a red samurai.
The return
And
of the samurai.
I have to look up my notes because it's the SRPL 13. Surple
Circle
13. And it has a really nice red color on both the dial and the bezel inlay.
Mm.
And I really like what they did to the case because it wears really well. I think it's 41 millimeters, but it wears better because or smaller because it curves around your wrist really nicely.
They did a great
it
job
works
with
really nice.
with that sort of latest take on that case shape. I think it's not the most popular from Seiko in terms of like the classic turtle SKX style.
Yeah, no.
The sumo was there as well, but I think that the samurai was always kind of one of the ones that was a little less popular. But I think, to be honest, these 3 models, also price wise,
Yeah.
and in terms of everything else, they're
Really
a great.
nice.
Great
And I think they
offering.
made the case a little bit more angular, or they changed it a little bit.
Hands,
and
I think,
it's,
are different as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
They're
cool.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Especially
what we
that red one. Yeah.
what we
the-
discussed also last week, and why people like Seiko. It's a lot of range, a lot of
Yeah.
range in terms of price and offering and everything else. So I think it's that's very cool, very cool stuff. Lex, do you have another one for
Nope.
us? No, that's it. You stuck to the
Oh,
3.
no.
Okay, perfect. Well, I will go ahead and that one's taken. I also have the Doxa Sub 200T.
Oh,
So the smaller Doxa in 39 by 41.5 by 10.7 millimeters.
they
which
wear very well.
they wear extremely well, and I had a hard time when I first saw them. Also alongside the 300T, because I couldn't make up my mind. I quite liked the big one. The small one wore better. The big one is more obviously faithful to the original.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately the small one on the bracelet is just a brilliant watch.
And there's also a nice price difference, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
these are certainly. I think that they're under 2,000. I think
Yeah,
they're 1,800 euros,
Or maybe
something
even
like that.
less. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's for people interested into buying into the brand and having something that's a little bit less chunky, because it's a small dial, but the case has these like big C-shaped kind
has
of
a
wings
lot of
to it,
presence.
and it's quite flat, but at the same time it's big on the wrist. It's big on the wrist. So these solve that issue for those.
But
of,
also the
who
small ones
doesn't
have a
shoot for.
lot of presence because of the
Definitely,
shape
definitely.
and the colors you can.
You wouldn't think 39.
No.
They really wear a little bit bigger than that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, super nice and comfortable.
Yeah,
Short
I
lug to
agree.
lug,
It's
and just a great,
it's a
great,
great
watch.
watch.
Obviously, again, because it's Doxa, released in like 11 different colorways.
What was your favorite colorway?
I think it would have to be either the Sea Rambler, So the silver dial, or the professional, which is the orange. And the professional, the classic, not the sunburst, because they did that where they released them in sunburst and flat, like matte color. So I think the orange and the silver.
There was also wasn't there also a limited version with gold colored hands?
It was green and gold.
Yeah.
That was I forget what the name they've given it is.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was
I like
cool.
that one.
Yeah.
That was the one for me, and I saw it live.
For you and the people of Boston.
Oh God! Yeah, congratulations! Shout out to the
people of Boston.
The people of Boston who just won.
The Celtics win.
The Celtics.
They won. What did they win? The NBA.
They won a refrigerator.
They won the NBA.
They won
Rings
the
for
NBA.
Everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And Doxa watches.
Yeah,
perfect. Dan, do you have one more for us?
No, I was going to mention the Oris Diver 65 caliber 400.
The 38 millimeter.
Yeah, the 38 millimeter, because I just wrote but I haven't seen the watch in person yet, so I'm not sure what that dial looks like in person. But
you'll see it tomorrow.
It's a nice
price.
Nice watch.
I want to know the price.
36.
Because it's the caliber 400. It always pushes the price a little higher, but hey, you also have plenty of offerings from them, even some that are coming up soon with using the standard movement. There was also that Oris, you wrote about it. Did you write about it? I think Thomas wrote about it.
The black one.
The black one. The what is it called?
The Holstein.
Holstein edition for the year.
Yeah,
it's fully blacked out. Yeah. Black loom, black hands, black dial.
With a surfer on the back, right?
With a bear with sunglasses and swimming shorts on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was weird. The fact
was
that
carrying
it's
a surfing
summer
board as well.
Like a summer watch.
We should do a podcast about summer watches.
Yeah, we'll record it right now. We'll record it right after this one. Okay, but we'll release it 3 weeks from now. So just to keep it very confusing to our audience.
Yeah, that's nice.
But only when we mention it. Actually, it doesn't have to be confusing. But now it's confusing, which is great. But speaking of confusion, here is our comment of the week.
Oh yes.
So this is referring to our podcast on two-tone watches from however many weeks ago that was when this comes out. And it's from Keeping Watch UK, who says, I'm still not convinced, to be honest. I prefer either full gold or full stainless. Kind of like cars. Go full petrol or EV. Don't bother with a hybrid.
Ooh.
That's a hot take. But yeah, so two-tones clearly not for everyone, as the comments reminded us. And I think we also agree. Not for everyone, not for every watch.
We did a podcast on this, right?
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a bicolor podcast.
You were there, Dan.
I was there,
the podcast.
Yes.
It was months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but perfect. All right, guys. Well, thanks for the picks, and I think we'll circle back around to this one towards the end of the year when we have plenty of more new releases to talk about.
Let's do that.
But for now, let us know your recent favorites releases in the comments down below, and as always, tune in next week for another episode of Fratello Talks. See you then.